Now we see you.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
So welcome to Grenoble Ecole de Management. Welcome to Jem. First, we're going to introduce ourselves. So I'm Laure de Tassini, Research and Innovation Project Officer. And then my colleagues, so David Courty.
Hi.
Christian Rivet and Nicolas Bonifant.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So first, I'm going to do a small
Okay.
introduction on the school and
So we're going for the slideshow.
our platforms. So GEM has been created in 1984, and it's a research and higher education business school. Tell me if I don't speak enough loud with the mic.
No, it's okay.
It's okay, thanks. Over the last 3 decades, GEM has developed a unique expertise on management of technology and innovation, in particular in the analysis of emerging fields such as energy management, health, IT, and biotech, but as well as new business models. Its main fields of expertise comprise deliberate and emergent strategies of innovation, ICT, new product development and marketing of innovative products and services, as well as sustainable innovation. GEM has more than 8,000 students, 500 employees, 430 teachers and lecturers, including more than 100 researchers organized around 4 main topics: digital, energy, health, and territories. GEM main campuses are located in Grenoble and in Paris. So here's a photo of our brand new building that we have recently opened. It's a building dedicated to new pedagogical tools, and it's based on innovation through experimentation. GEM Labs is unique in France. It's more than just a traditional campus. Naturally, it has co-working and conviviality spaces and modular teaching platforms, but its originality lies in its digital and immersive platforms. So here you can see photos of our 2 platforms. So first, the Team Lab, Technology and Innovation Management Lab. It's been co-created in partnership with Chorus, which is a specialist in the conception and layout of workspaces. The Team Lab is a dedicated platform for project teamwork and design thinking in order to help teams collaborate efficiently on an innovative project. It is a place that boosts creativity thanks to the flexible and gamified environment. The 4 steps of the innovation process, which are ideate, explore, define, and prototype, are well defined thanks to functional arranged areas. This room, as you can see, stimulates the memorization and assimilation of the tools, and it also encourages body moving and the active involvement of the group. On the right, you can see another photo of one of our other platform called the Playground. And it's a platform 100% dedicated to GEM's serious games and gamification in order to help users ask themselves the right questions, change their behaviors accordingly, and to play innovation. GEM has been developing its own serious games since 2012. We have already created 15 serious games in different formats: board games, digital games, and virtual reality games. So here you can see photos of our other platforms. We call the Biz Lab. So this platform offers 4 immersive spaces in which we experiment real-life use cases. You can see a shop, an apartment, a street, and a food store. These spaces have been co-created with our partners, and they are full of innovative technologies. I'm going to say a quick word on our partners. So our first partner is Picture. It's an organic ski clothing brand. It's been 4 years that Picture has joined the Biz Lab adventure. Each year they provide the connected shop with their last clothes collection for experimentations. We have also 2 other partners, Auchan and Tanzanie. There are 2 French large food processing retailers which joined GEM Labs in 2019 with the co-creation of the food store we call My Market Lab. In this group, the objective is to provide a space that boosts the learning of the large retail and merchandising issues and feed research with topics around new technologies to the service of tomorrow's consumer. So who the business lab is for? What are the business lab profiles? First, they are for our learners, our students, obviously, to learn the practices and behaviors of the transitional innovation. Secondly, for our researchers, for them to collect data through a research expedition for publication purposes, for example. Thirdly, for bearers of innovation, for the co-development of a new product or a device that can be tested and reused in our platforms. Then for marketing teams, for the co-building of scenarios with our engineers to test a use case or product, for example. And finally, for leaders to energize the management and leadership skills of their teams. So now, in order to better understand what the uses of the BizLab are, my colleagues Christian and David will present you a new learning experience we call Prof Explorer. The floor is yours.
Yes. Okay. Hello, I am Christian Rivet from GEM. I'm marketing professor at GEM. Just in order to understand what we do here, I will introduce my colleague, David.
So hello, I'm David. I'm Innovation and Experimentation Program Manager, and I lead a program in the Innovation Department. Yes, all of you have probably listened to the presentation the last week made by Sylvie Blanco, our boss, we could say. So I will not describe all different activities from the Department of Innovation and Experimentation, but I will let the voice to Christian to start the exploration.
Yes, first, we're going to talk about the situation, and to understand the situation, the first point is 3D, and for us is a lot of data, device, and digital is everywhere. The second point is 3L. The one point is a lake of physical presence for students. Another point is learning, because it's our job. And the last point for L is we had a lot of labs. And we will do many things, but to understand the many things we're going to do, 3C, C, all students are connected, first C. Second is the crisis. Everybody knows that we have a big problem with the crisis, and we have to challenge this crisis. And that's why we organize Prof Explorer. And just quick word, never stop learning, because life never stops teaching. And a famous trademark in the sport said, we never stop exploring. I don't want to give you the name of the trademark, but for us it is our job to never stop exploring. That's why the experimentation is going to be Prof Explorer, and David, it's yours.
Yes, just let me switch the slide. Yes, okay. Yes, just to make a little of theory, we choose a specific model called the SAMR model, which have been designed by Ruben Puentedra in 2010. This model gives us some tools to analyze and to have the capacity of describe how the informatic and communication technology could help us in order to interact differently with our students. So this model is composed of 4 different levels. The first one is the substitution. In fact, we could use technology just to make the same as we made in a classical way. For example, it's more than everybody lives the last years when everybody was teaching using Teams, Zoom, like and so on. In a classical way, we made everything using different technology, but we make the same as we could make in our classroom. Typically, it means sharing documents and making everything synchronously. So there's no change. It's just the technology is just a substitute. The second level is the augmentation. We used technology in order to integrate, for example, some video content. We could share documents where a student could maybe share their ideas, share their reflection, and work together. In a way, we can organize online work groups, but it's not something really innovative. Most of the time, we could also encounter some automation system, for example, to evaluate by yourself or automate correction. Then we start the second phase, the transformation with the third level, which is called the modification. The context is the teaching could be personalized. We are talking about upskilling. We are using, for example, artificial intelligence in order to measure different levels and to customize the learning process for each student. This could be called, it's called the adaptive learning and the hyper personalization. The challenge for us was to achieve Prof Explorer at the level of redefining how the technology could transform completely the experience of learning. We have already explored different other domains, so I will just make a parenthesis. Two different domains we have already explored during last year, we could say. First, as my colleague presents you one of our labs, which is called the playground, because GEM is really famous for all the different serious games we have already created since 2010, we could say, in different way. And the serious game is a real new process in learning. It used us in transforming the process. We make the experience more motivating and inspiring. So acquiring knowledge or new skills can become for the generation born with video game, transform as a knowledge and acquiring competent skills as a game. We could also speak a little about what we have already done in terms of virtual reality. So GEM, as I said, we develop simulation, we develop serious game. So last years we have developed serious game and simulation called Phonetic in partnership with Ecole, which is a French company who manage and design a specific platform to build your own VR experience. So this experience consists in taking the shoes of a recently hired bank advisor, and you will be confronted to specific problems in terms of ethics in the financial world. And the last experience we are managing at the moment with another EdTech specialist in VR, which is called BodySwap. They are French people, but they are based in London. and the specificity is to use the VR to let you swap from a body to the body of the person you are, for example, giving advice in terms of management, leadership, and so on. So it's more to work about all the different soft skills. Let's switch to the process. So let's come back to Prof Explorer. So I expose you the first part, the theoretical part. Then we build a specific process. So we have designed website support. So students have an access. So maybe my colleague, which is online with us, will share in the chat for everybody online. You would have the possibility to go on this website and taking some view of the different clues and the different resources we have shared with you.
David, c'est Émilie. Est-ce que tu peux me
Yes.
donner l'adresse? Je vais la taper, je ne la retrouve pas.
Ah, sorry. My colleague will try to join the meeting and he will share the link.
OK.
Nicola is going to share it with his computer. So just to go on with what I explained before, we are giving some resources before the experimentation, before the class to the student, and all these resources are on a specific website designed only for the experimentation. So if you are able to join us on this website.
I've just shared the website,
Okay.
the URL website.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nico.
So you could find different chapters on this website, and a little bit later when we would go on your experimentation, you could use the different resources we have shared here. Okay, so next to come back to our learning process and how do we build this experience. Then we are using a robot. We'll make the presentation a little bit later. And then the idea is to take the shoes of a space team and to become an astronaut together with Professor Christian and you, everybody, become a student for a moment and for our experimentation. So let's go. We will be everybody as a student and go to discover the Prof Explorer in live.
Hello, you're going to do a big game with me. The game is Prof Explorer. So I will ask you some enigma, and with the answer, we're going to find first some meeting points, some place, and in those places, we are going to work on several questions, another enigmas about the courses. So the first enigma is Maslow's physiological needs could be fulfilled in this place. So it's a bit theoretical, but maybe someone can find the answer.
So you can participate, everybody.
Yes.
As a student for this morning. So let's turn on your microphone, and if you get the answer. We are found, you are looking for a place.
Yes, maybe you
It's
remember.
quite easy.
A place in our platforms.
In our platform.
You mean the 4 ones that you mentioned?
In the business.
Yes, 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 yes.
Ah, okay.
And we're looking for the first part of the pyramid of Maslow.
I think I would go to the shop.
Not, sorry.
Okay.
Wrong. Another answer?
It's quite easy.
Yes, it's a place for the first needs,
Just looking around
just for
me,
eating,
You have
for
a lot of-
sleeping,
In the supermarket.
for sleeping.
Well, you can, no.
Is it the home environment?
Yes, perfect, perfect, great. So we can move to the home now. Can you see me in the home?
Yes.
Yes. And maybe you can see my friend. My friend is Rob. Rob, the robot is moving.
Not what?
Yes.
Sorry. Small technological problem.
Yeah.
Small problem. Sorry.
Rob,
Rob is leaving the room, I see.
yeah.
He's going back. He's going back.
so yes, this is the first place of our BizLab or platform. This is the home. It's quite easier to describe. You can see the kitchen, the different place. We don't have the bedroom. It could be an option for the future. And in this place, we would ask you another question, a new enigma question, please.
New enigma. What are the marketing touch points in this place? And you can be helped with the slide. We're looking for touch point device. Do you understand the touch point, marketing touch point? It's the point of contact between the trademark and the consumer. Do you have any
I would-
idea?
I would guess the television screen.
Yes, perfect. One touch point. Okay, another one. We have many possibilities.
I
I
see
think a radio, if there's any.
The radio, perfect. Yes.
I don't know, but is there a microwave in the room?
Yes, if it's a connected microwave, it's so perfect.
Yeah, maybe for the magazines on the table.
Yes, another
Yes.
one, more classical, but it is another one. So we can have also a tablet, computer, and many, many things. So just for our courses with the student, we do that. We ask many questions about the courses. In the first part of the courses, you have the teaching, classical teaching, and we give a lot of information about what we're talking in the courses. And after, they can go on the website to have some resource and clues to be helped, and they participate by teams, and they have some points when they got the perfect answer, and it's a big game. So another question, we're looking now for another place, and the place could be found with 3 keywords, and the first keyword is Radiohead band, Spirit, and 1995. Maybe you can use Google.
Yes, Google is your friend. The first result
I repeat,
is
Radiohead, Spirit, and 1995. And we are looking for a place.
The street. It's a
Yes,
street.
great.
1 point.
So we are
Right.
going to the street. We move to another lab. Markets of campaign. Can you hear me?
So we are moving to the street. I will make a little focus on the technical parts. Maybe you have seen on the lab on the different places we have equipped the place with different microphone, camera, and speakers. So all the technology around us are connected to an information system to centralize the information and to transform each technology around us as a sensor or as something to transmit information or media and so on.
Mhm. So in the street, it's possible to test a lot of things with students because we organize some campaign, some communication campaign. Some teams of students are working on a campaign for communication, and another teams of students are testing the campaign. But we had another enigma, another question in this street, and the question is, could be a technological solution to analyze and segment people. Maybe you can see this solution, this technology in the street.
Is it the images in the different screens and then people can go there?
Could you repeat? Sorry.
Yeah, I see that there are different screens and have like different images. Is it that the way that you can?
No,
No?
not exactly.
Is it the VR body swap solution?
No.
No.
You've got a clue just
Yeah.
on the bottom
We're
of the
going to
screen.
help you with Rob. Come on, Rob.
Rob is going to zoom.
Come on, Rob, to help us about the technology. Yes. Just in front of you, what technology do we use? Can be helped with the picture on your screen?
I see cameras moving, but maybe that's too easy.
No. I'm thinking just in
Yeah.
front of. Can you see
Face
that?
recognition.
Yeah.
It's what? Recognition? What?
Face.
Face recognition. Yes, perfect. Good answer. And it's very interesting to work with the student with this technology because we can analyze the age and if it's a woman or a man. And for us in a place like that, it could be a street or it could be a mall. And in a mall, it could be very interesting to understand what are the population at what time.
Mhm.
You okay?
Yes, just a little focus. We mentioned 3 different partners, and that there is a lot of technical partners. So here it's a Spanish enterprise who work as Christian described this technology. They work specifically in security and in biomarketing, using this technology to segment markets. So they use facial recognition and they help us in order to get this demo to our students and to make the student think about different use cases. So this is one of the different use cases we could explore and we could learn about.
Another enigma to find another place. And the enigma, if I want to get dressed for skiing, where do I go?
To the shop.
Yes, perfect. Great. So we're going to the shop now. So welcome to the shop. As Laure present our partner, one partner in this shop is it's an historic partner, is Picture Organic Clothing. And we are working a lot with this trademark because they are very, in the same way than GEM, they are sustainable and very innovative trademark. And we love to work with this trademark. And another question in this place, what do I do before buying a jacket and where does it take place?
You look for different options online, and then you choose which one you like the most.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Yeah. Oh, well, if you're in the shop, as Anna said in the chat, like you try different jackets, but if it is online, then you just choose, like take a look to all the jackets and then you choose.
It's a physical.
Physical, when you are in the store,
When you're in the shop,
where you are going specifically in order to know if the jacket is the right one or not. If I say the word, it will give you all the.
we're looking for a specific place in the shop just to do something before buying a jacket.
You have a kind of a wardrobe thing where you can try on different things.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a virtual learning wardrobe.
Yes, you would like to talk about fitting
Changing
room?
room. Yeah.
Yes, great.
Fitting room.
So
The fitting
now
room.
we go to the fitting room, but our fitting room is a bit specific, it's special.
That's it.
So Rob is going to show you the fitting room. It could be a classic fitting room, but it's not a classic fitting room. Can you see inside? David is going inside, but the light is changing. The color is changing. Maybe you can hear the music of Bob Marley. And on the screen, you can have a lot of information about the jacket. And with the student, it's possible to work on cross-selling, upselling, and what is possible to do if you have to organize some bundle with 2 pieces of clothes for skiing. And also you have a like counter just to work on the social pressure. And with this cabin, with this smart fitting room, we can work on social marketing, and it's always the same. Students are organizing the experimentation about sensorial marketing, and another group of students are testing if it works or not. So you move from the theory to the practice, and practice to the theory all the time. But it's possible to do that online, like you now.
Right now. And to give you some information about the technology we are using in this fitting room, what we call the RFID technology, which is a radio frequencies identification protocol. Thanks to this tag, which is a passive one, and you've got some antenna around the fitting room in order to analyze and to the capacity of describing all the different products which enter in our fitting room, and to start different scenario depending on the collection, the product, and so on.
So another question now to move. My fridge is empty, so where to solve this problem? Could I go to solve this problem? Sorry.
At the supermarket.
Yes, great. We are going to the supermarket.
So this is the last plate we developed with two partners mentioned by my colleague, which is Auchan, it's gross marketing and retail, and Panzani, which are famous for pasta, salsa, and so on. And we developed this place last year. We could work on different domains with our students: marketing, retail, management of the sale point, etc. We are just waiting a moment. The time our friends, the robots, came with us in this place, because it's a My Market Lab, and we manage different research experiments also in this place. It could be an answer of why the robot is a little bit anxious.
So welcome in the My Market Lab. Another question in this lab. I'm not an ophthalmologist, but I can analyze your eyes. You know what it is?
Eye tracking?
Yes, perfect, great. We are using a lot of eye tracking inside this shop to work on marketing and what consumers do when they want to choose some product, and what are they reading, what are they what information are important for the consumer. So let me introduce my friend Nicolas, and my colleague is going to talk about research.
Yes, hello, I'm Nicolas Bonnefond. I'm an engineer here in the platforms, and I'm a main developer of the technical solutions in the labs. So the hiccups you got today are for me, so I'm sorry for that. The idea of what you saw here is just a small part of all the things we can do in the labs. You've seen already a mix of technologies with the robot, with live streaming, lights, connected fitting room. And that's the idea of the platform we have here, is that every technology we put in it, we control it, and we are able to mix it with all the other technology to be able to create scenario. When we do that, we can build complex courses. So Prof Explorer is one, and you got only a small peek of what we do in Prof Explorer today, because we also control a lot of the lights of the screen, and all these things we can do in the lab. And also the other idea we have here is to be able to use this place for research. So Christian already showed you the eye tracking. This is something very interesting for the researcher. For example, on a not technological part, we worked on labels and Nutri-Score, for example. So we've been able to test here different version of Nutri-Score, no Nutri-Score, and in 2 weeks, over 100 students came here to test the products with the eye tracking on. And this is very interesting for the researcher, because this place is a lab, so it's close to a real place, but it's easier for us to access it. We have complete control on everything that happens here. And it's a safe place for students. So it's very interesting for researcher to be able to do something here, because it's quite easier and cheaper than to go to a real supermarket, but it's enough close to the reality to be valuable for research paper. So you can also see, for example, behind me, some plants, because in fact, just this afternoon, after this presentation, we'll be completely shutting down the robot, and we'll be starting 2 weeks of experiments. And for example, in this experiment, we'll be trying to determine the influence of plants in the supermarket. Also, another thing we can do here, and another example of technologies are electronic labels. I've shown you classic paper labels, but also we have this kind of things in a lot of formats. And although this is the kind of thing we can control and adapt to the experimentation or to the courses here, and we can completely change the design in a few minutes to be able to answer the pedagogical needs or the researcher needs. So this is, yeah. You have something to add, David?
Thank you, Nicolas. So I hope you appreciate our Prof Explorer experience. Maybe we give you a little picture of another type of experience or use case. We manage those different spaces on this platform. And so right now, let's go for the question. Maybe you ask to us.
Okay, thank you very much, colleagues. That was a very interesting learning experience, I shall call it, with all the technologies that you've shown and the different rooms, and also, yeah, how you also collaborate with companies that you mentioned. I think there are a couple of questions in the chat, and maybe can I just start with picking one of the questions, and I think it's Pablo. I have a similar question as Pablo. Pablo, maybe can you ask your question live, please?
Yeah, I would love to know, Beam, by the way, which one was my question?
Oh, well, it was about the robot. What is the role of the robot
in
this
exactly.
learning experience?
But I think they answered my question, because I saw the robot moving in front of them. So they answered my question. That the robot, is the robot holding the camera, shooting the scene? What's the role of the robot?
Yeah, that's exactly the role of the robot. The idea that the student cannot be there. So we try to do something as immersive as possible. So in fact, the student is the robot, or the robot is the student. And the idea that they can follow the Prof Explorer, Christian, in the lab to show them and to make them live the experience despite being remote.
And for me, I can have some interaction, not in this experimentation with you, but with students. I can have some interaction with the robot, because I ask some question to the robot, and the robot answer me some question, some sentence and sentences, and it could help experimentation. And you can hear that he is able to talk.
Try to talk.
And yes.
Yeah. So do I understand it correctly that the student can then manipulate the robot? Is that what you do in an online world?
This will be the next step.
Yes.
Okay.
For the moment.
Not yet.
Not yet. There. Okay.
That's something we have in mind for the next version.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I think, Alison, you also had a question, I think, about the more theoretical fundamentals. I think it was the SAMR model, and you asked a question about that, Alison. Are you still there? Oh,
Alison had to leave for a meeting.
Ah, okay, sorry. Yeah, Alison asked that model is a very basic model for or fundamental model for your experimentation. But there is it's where does the scientific background comes from? I think that was the question that she raised.
Behind this model?
Yeah.
It's quite
it's widely cited, she says, and but the empirical research is not that visible yet. Is that something you're working on yourself, or
no, just an inspiration for
okay.
A goal for our courses, but it's not an academic approach for us.
Okay, yeah. And then let's see. I think Tony, you also had a question.
Yeah, I'm about the body swap. I'm really interested in that body swap technology. That you could explore something from a different perspective. Do you have any a link to that, or you can read more about that? I think that's also. I mean, I'm really a student of behavioral science and how to change mindset and behavior. So
it's too early for the moment. We are going through the experimentation. We will get some result probably in the next 2 months. We are experimenting with approximately 50 students in different programs, and we are going to work and make a paper on this experimentation with body swap. So I can't talk more about it right now, but I know you can already contact Christophe Mallet from Body Swap, and he could answer your different question. And I know they are already work with different university who only work as a supplier, you can say a supplier of a new technology for students in order to learn about soft skills.
Thank you.
Okay. If other people want to ask questions, I think we went through all the questions in the chat now. But if no one else is raising their hand, I can ask another question. I think you've shown us now several rooms or places that you can go to with the robot. But that's only like a selection of possible places and rooms that you as a student or as a citizen can go to, I think. What if you have to add another lab, another room, another place? For instance, a barber shop or a bar. I don't know. If you would like to add another place that you could go to or that you could try to imagine learning experience, what does that entail for you as a university, as a lab, to add these places, or how do you select places and how do you set them up?
There's a story behind everything and all the development of this platform. In fact, there's 4 different places. So you visit quickly the 4 different places. So the street, the home, the My Market Lab, and the connected shop. We started this story 4 or 5 years ago with just one place, which was the connected shop with one partner, Picture Organic Clothing. And at the beginning of the story, we could say the father of the Biz Lab is here with Christian, because he go to the innovation department and spoke with my boss, telling her that there is a problem in marketing in retail, because it's quite difficult to teach to the students just using a PowerPoint. And there was this frustration because in an engineer school, there is a lots of different places called a Fab Lab, where students can practice, and they could use all the theoretical and all the courses and put it in appliance, so they could develop their solutions, they could make it real. And that's why at the beginning we decided to go on with a connected shop. Then it depends on different domain where the teacher want to explore, want to go through different experimentation, different classes. And I can say that we have a lot of idea in order to develop other places. It's more in terms of opportunity. And then we also have the capacity of transforming, thanks to Nicola and other colleagues, we can transform, for example, the street in a bank desk. So we have already made it possible to explore, for example, for a bank to know more about the impact on using different color where you are going with your client in a process of asking for credit, for example, using color, hot color, for example, orange or yellow, and on the other side, using fresh color like blue or white. Mm-hmm. So for the moment, we have the capacity in transforming places to another goal. So that's the way we answer.
And it's also possible in the, for example, in the street or in the mall, we can organize a small pop-up store at the middle of the street, just to work on some product, different products.
Okay, yeah. So the street is the main part, so to say, where you have the most flexibility.
Yes.
Yeah. I will also it in the shop, because we have a lot of space.
True. Yeah. Okay, good. I see people already have to leave, and time is up, actually. Is there any urgent question left somewhere? I don't see anyone raising hands. Okay.
Anyone to lunch?
I think we should. Well, we try to finish in time, so it hasn't been too successful in that in the previous sessions, but today I think we can manage. Thank you very much for this wonderful experience. It added a lot to what we are talking about in the training. And also, especially today, to see how technology can indeed be used in an innovative way when it comes to teaching and learning. I think that this was exactly the purpose of the session. So thank you very much. If COVID is over and done, I'm very curious to come and see in live what you're doing there in Grenoble.
Of course, you're all welcome to visit the platform.